This is one of the biggest releases starting off the year in 2025, and it of course is the Black Cat Air Jordan 3s. First released back in 2007, this non-OG but still incredibly popular colorway is finally returning in the beginning of 2025. More specifically, it's set to drop on January 11th in full family sizing for a retail price of $200, at least in men. Now if you want to grab this pair early, or maybe you're watching this after the shoe is sold out a couple months down the road, you can check out the resale price of this shoe right there through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. And you might be able to tell from the resale price being pretty low a month out from the release of this shoe, although it's going to be a popular pair of sneakers, it might not completely sell out. And I'll get more into that as we continue on with the review, but before we dive any deeper into the sneaker itself, I first want to take a look at the box. Now I've been going back and forth and showing you guys boxes because a lot of times if I don't show you guys the box, you'll be like, well, where's the box at? And then if I do show you the box, it's like, oh, it's a standard Jordan box. So maybe what I'll do from now on is just give you guys a quick this is the box. It's got elephant print on the sides, it's got the Jumpman on the top, you got the size tag on the front. It is a size 9, which is my true size, at least the pair that I got, and the official colorway of this shoe is dark charcoal white. There's nothing really of note inside the box. I got my pair from Goat, so there's like a Goat tag, but nothing crazy. There's no like paperwork or pamphlets or anything like that, not even hang tags. So there you go, nothing crazy. It's very similar to all of the other Air Jordan 3 boxes, in case you guys were wondering. But getting back into the sneaker and digging a little bit deeper into the history and the colorway of this shoe. So this shoe's colorway was inspired by Michael Jordan's nickname, Black Cat, and because of that, it comes in almost entirely black. But even though the shoe is almost entirely black, and from a distance, I mean, it looks just like a black thing on your foot, there are a lot of bits of contrast and details and material change-ups that make this shoe a lot more interesting when you look a little bit closer at it. So with that being said, diving into the materials, around the toe of the sneaker, you've got one of the grayest details on the shoe, and that is the dark charcoal elephant print. Now both the elephant print and the nubuck that the elephant print is printed on seems to come in the same sort of dark charcoal color, with the only real difference between the two parts being that pressed in texture that has this sort of light sheen to it. Now what's interesting about the elephant print on this shoe is that it seems like it's a lot more consistent between both sides of the pair than something like the Black Cement 3s, which people had a lot of problems with because the elephant print varied so much from shoe to shoe. Now if you compare the elephant prints on the Black Cement 3s and the Black Cat 3s, the line weight of the Black Cement 3s is much thicker, at least on my particular pair. On the Black Cat 3s, it seems a lot thinner and a lot less connected. Now to be fair, this is the only pair of 2025 Black Cat 3s that I've actually seen in person, so it could vary wildly between pairs, but at least on my pair, it seems consistent from shoe to shoe, and it all seems like it's that sort of thin, lightly connected elephant print, which I'll be honest doesn't bother me too much. While I do prefer the thicker elephant print, I just kind of prefer the shoes matching. That's all I really care about. And even if they don't match, it's not a huge deal, but at least not to me as much as it is to other people, I've noticed. But on this pair, it seems at least consistent, which is a good thing. Continuing up from the elephant print, you get to this really shiny black patent leather mudguard that wraps around almost the entire bottom half of the shoe. I honestly really like this detail a lot. At first I didn't, but the reason I like it is because it provides this insane contrast between the bottom half of the upper and the top half of the upper. You've got this super glossy patent leather, which unfortunately does crease pretty badly, at least the patent leather that Jordan brand tends to use. And then you've got sort of the polar opposite with this very matte finish on this black nubuck or durabuck material that makes up the top half of the shoe. And it creates this really interesting sort of line throughout the center of the shoe. I just spit on the sneaker. That's gross. Okay. It creates this very distinct line through the center of the shoe, which I'm sure some people will like, some people won't. But I really like that even though this is an all black shoe, that there is some heavy contrast, at least on finishes on the sneaker. It does provide a lot of interest on the shoe, which I like a lot. It also makes this shoe feel a bit more premium than I think it would without the patent leather. Patent leather doesn't always make a shoe feel more expensive, but in this case, because it's an all black shoe, it kind of gives it that slightly elevated look. Now I don't want patent leather in all my 3s, definitely not. But on this colorway, I don't know if it's because I've just become used to it, because I've seen it since 2007, or maybe I just like the fact that it's an all black shoe with some nice contrast. It works for me. Continuing up on the sneaker, you've got more of that black nubuck material accented by these sort of glossy black eyelets. And then as you move a little bit farther up in the shoe, you got some black perforated nubuck with, of course, your standard black plastic eyelets that kind of stick off the side of the shoe. Now weaving through the eyelets, you've got this elephant print lace, which is pretty cool. It comes in this sort of very dark charcoal black accented by an even lighter gray. Now it's sort of hinting at elephant print. You can't see much of the pattern because the lace is so thin, but it does create a nice little extra pop of pattern and something else going on the upper of the shoe, which I like. Now you can obviously switch these laces out for a set of black laces. They don't come inside the box. You have to buy your own set of laces, but that is an option. Or you can do what I did on my Oregon Duck Dunks. I switched them out with the green laces, and I feel like this is a nice pop of color. It's not subtle, but it is a nice bit of contrast in the upper of the shoe. If you like a look like this where you get some color on the laces, I mean, it's easy to swap out the laces, and you can really change up the look of the shoe by just changing up the color of the laces. Like, this shoe would look completely different if it had red laces. So same deal on the Black Cat 3s. It does give you a lot of options when it comes to customizability of the laces because it's just an all-black shoe. Underneath the laces, you've got more of that nubuck material on the tongue, perforated in the bottom half, and then just kind of flat on the top half. You've got the Jumpman in the center. It's not embroidered. It's just sort of a rubbery feeling, kind of glossy graphite gray. It's almost like a TPU. I think it is a TPU. Either way, it flexes with the tongue, so it's not going to crack on you. And then moving inside the sneaker, you've got this black fabric sock liner. As you could have guessed, the insole of the sneaker comes in black with the Jumpman printed on the heel in white. And as far as sizing goes, the Air Jordan 3 Black Cat, from what I could tell, does seem to fit true to size. At least it fits me true to size. It fits just like every other pair of Air Jordan 3s. Now, they have said that the cut of this shoe is much more similar to the OG 3s than some of the newer pairs. It's basically identical to the cut of the Air Jordan 3 Black Cements that released at the end of 2024, which in my opinion is not that different. But hey, apparently it's a little bit different. It's not as triangular as some of the Air Jordan 3s that you can see from 1988, but it is, I guess, less than some of the newer ones. I don't know if you guys got what I was saying, that, you know. Either way, even with that newer cut of this shoe, I guess older cut of this shoe, it still fits true to size. I would still suggest going true to size, but of course, if you've never tried on a pair of Air Jordan 3s before, I would suggest trying the shoe on first before you buy it to make sure that you're grabbing the right size for you. I don't know if you guys noticed my APTHCRY elephant print socks in the on-foot portion, but they look fire with these shoes. They're actually completely sold out, but we do have some really fire like holiday colors that are available on our website right now, APTHCRY.com, and I'm also rocking the APTHCRY black sweatpants in this video as well. They look fire. It's a very easy shoe to match with because it's like all black. It's super easy to throw on with almost anything. Oh, and actually, I should mention, if you're entering the Air Jordan 11 giveaway that we're doing over on Core, make sure to click the link in the top of the description below to get your second Core badge. If you guys aren't familiar with Core, it's a great way to connect with creators that you love, like myself or Philip DeFranco, people like that, and just chat with them or maybe win free stuff. There's a lot of cool things going on at Core, collect badges. It's sick. Check it out. Continuing back on the shoe, you've got some more glossy black accents with the black eyelet towards the top of the shoe. You've got more perforated nubuck around the top of the ankle area. And again, more of that black, or I guess dark charcoal elephant print wrapping around the heel of the shoe. And then finally, rounding off the back of the shoe, you've got a black heel tab with the Jumpman and the Air text in the center in glossy black, sort of rounding off the all black look. Then moving down on the shoe, you got some more black. You either love it or you hate it. I think if you hated it, you wouldn't have clicked on this video, but that's fine. The midsole of the shoe comes in a very glossy black, kind of to match the patent leather, and I really like that detail a lot. Now, what's interesting is that the glossy black part of the midsole is only on the top half of the midsole. Beneath that, you've got a much more, I call it sort of satin black. It's not matte, but it's definitely not as shiny as the glossy black on the top half. Of course, towards the heel, you've got your Air unit, and then the rubber does wrap up from the outsole onto the upper, and it is, of course, black. Rounding off the bottom of the shoe, you've got almost an entirely black outsole with the Jordan text in white, a nice little accent piece there that you're not really going to get to see. Actually, that's the same with the other white detail on the shoe, the Jumpman printed on the heel. And one omission on this particular release that was on the 2007 release is the Black Cat text behind the heel tab. It's not here on this release. Not a huge deal, I think, for most people because you're not going to see it when you're wearing it. But if you were a Jordan fan that really loved that detail because you had the 2007 release, or you wanted sort of a hidden detail on this shoe, unfortunately, it's not there on this pair, but that's okay. Again, you wouldn't have really seen it anyway, so not a huge omission, but it is nice when Jordan Brand kind of throws in those Easter eggs because it makes you feel like they care a little bit more. Do they actually care? I think a little bit, at least, right? Is there anything underneath the insole? No, there's nothing underneath the insole. So I've been thinking about this recently. I've been thinking about giving shoes in 2025 a rating system of some kind. I don't know if it's numbers, I don't know if it's letters, but I've been thinking about it because I feel like it's a fun way to gamify what we've got going on here. Just, it's more fun. Because like that way you can be like, oh, that shoe's an A or an 80 or a 90, whatever it ends up being. But let me know what you guys think of that in the comment section down below. Obviously, it won't affect what I think about the shoes, but it will sort of put a numerical value or a letter value or something on it. Let me know if you guys are interested in that and if you prefer numbers or letters. That's sort of the decision I'm trying to make right now. But guys, the Air Jordan 3 Black Cat once again releases on January 11th for a retail price of $200. It's clean, it's simple, it's from 2007. It's not an OG, but it's like the Fear 4s in that it's a retro of a pair of shoes that was very popular at the time. Will it be as popular in 2025? I'll be honest with you, I don't think so. I think people are going to love this shoe because it's a black pair of Air Jordan 3s. I think there are Jordan heads out there that will like this shoe because they're nostalgic for the 2007 pair. But will this shoe sell out? In my opinion, looking at some of the other pairs that were even cleaner than this, and the fact that they didn't sell out, I think this shoe is probably going to end up sitting, possibly going to outlets. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section down below.